and Budget, Mick Mulvaney. Mick, it's always a pleasure to see you. You know, one of the reasons I think that markets sold off the day after Judge Ginsburg passed was because people thought, well, this open seat means the legislative calendar, the legislative agenda gets impacted. Nothing gets done. Do you believe that? Do you believe that an open seat just prolongs stagnation? We're having trouble with Mick Mulvaney's audio. Obviously, we was trying to speak, but we didn't hear him. But, you know, Brian Brenberg, that's when we saw that sell-off right after her death. That was what Wall Street analysts were writing about. Forget about CARES 2. Forget about, you know, having a ninth voice, certainly if the election is contested. That's why the Republicans' case that they need to replace her makes a lot of sense, because you have 4 and 4 right now. You need a ninth voice on the court. Absolutely. I mean, and we're in a moment in history where it's so important for the court to be fully staffed. And you're right. Wall Street looks at that and says, minimally, we want Washington to be able to engage in the business that the Constitution gives it to engage in, which is why it is important to move forward on this. The president has a right to do it. The Senate has a right to do it. And frankly, to not move forward on it would be a dereliction of duty, I think, in the face of what's surely going to be a very complicated November, where the courts are going to be involved one way or another, like it or not. Yeah, let's talk about the first presidential debate. Can you imagine? It's here already on Tuesday, Mattie. This, of course, is taking place on Fox News and Fox Business from 9 p.m. on Tuesday, moderated by Chris Wallace. The topics will range from the candidates' records to the Supreme Court and the economy. What is your take? What are you expecting? What are you going to be watching closely, Mattie? And when Mick Mulvaney comes back, we're trying to figure out his audio right now. We will ask him as well for his thoughts, Mattie.
Well, I can't wait to see how many Americans tune in for this debate, because this is what voters have been waiting to see. The contrast between the candidates expressed on their own without any kind of filters or any kind of spokespeople. I think it's going to be an incredible debate that the American people need to see. And I think that what the president has done when it comes to the Supreme Court is going to change the way presidents campaign about judicial nominations from here on out. Releasing that list of names was a genius move by the campaign at the beginning of the last campaign. And the fact that the Biden administration, or excuse me, the Biden campaign hasn't responded and I think really demonstrates what a strong move that is. But of course, on the economy, on the future for America, the Trump campaign and the Biden campaign, it's going to be a contrast of two futures. And I think that contrast will be stark for Americans who are still making that decision 40 days out from the election.
Yeah, Brian, we've got some new swing state polls this morning. A Fox News poll shows former Vice President Biden leading President Trump by 5 points, and a new Quinnipiac University poll shows Biden only leading by 1. Otherwise, according to the Fox polls, while Biden is leading in Pennsylvania and Nevada, the Quinnipiac poll shows President Trump is still holding on to an advantage, a 5-point advantage in Texas. You know, Brian, I'm trying to focus on policy here. That is why I was trying to solicit some answers from our earlier guest, Nicole, to try to educate our audience in terms of what specifically Joe Biden's policy platform is. Because so far it feels like he's, running on this idea, well, I'm not Donald Trump. Is that going to resonate? Well, I don't think it's an accident that she couldn't answer that question for you. The fact is, Biden's centerpiece policies, especially on the economy, are radical. Most Americans would look at them as radical. It's higher taxes. It's trillions more in his version of Green New Deal spending. He has consistently downplayed policy because he knows if he goes there, voters are going to get spooked. They want a recovery, and nobody in this country thinks that raising taxes is going to contribute to recovery. He'll continue to try to dodge it through the debate. The president should press him on it again and again. Yeah, we'll be going to talk about this before the debate on Tuesday night. Be sure to join me along with Neil Cavuto live at 8 p.m. on Tuesday night. Neil will be previewing the first presidential debate. I'll join him at 8 o'clock live on Fox Business. So do join us as we preview one of the major events in this presidential election, and that is the first debate. We'll take a break. We'll get back.